She's Kate Moss, and she's a rock star trapped in a supermodel's body.
It was, it was a different whole Hollywood thing.
She dates bad boys, she's in and out of rehab. She does what she wants, and she looks cool doing it. She's had plenty of drug problems.
Daily Mirror showed an unglamorous Kate holding a rolled-up £5 note over what appears to be lines of coke.
Well, I've always loved coke.
Kate Moss is at her breaking point and her team is trying to figure out what to do with her. Rehab is not an option because she's too busy with work, but every time Kate is spotted out at a fashion show or even at her daughter's birthday dinner, she's tripping, she's stumbling, and she's falling over. At this point, it seems like Kate is silently crying out for help. So let's get into it. I've been a big fan of Kate Moss's for a long time. Not only is she a great model, but she's also extremely chaotic, for better or for worse. On my Let's Get Into a podcast, we did a deep dive about Miss Kate, and it seemed like at the end of that she was doing all right. She was trying out sobriety, but I'm worried that her bad habits are back again. And it's really unfortunate what addiction can do to someone. I mean, it's a lifelong battle, and I'm just worried that Kate Moss is just succumbing to that and she's a victim of it. It also seems like it runs in her family. Her sister Lottie Moss also has been struggling with addiction. She has opened up about this on TikTok, but it seems like when it comes to Kate Moss, she's denying that she may have had another issue with substances again. Like, this recent article accuses Kate of going back to her old 90s partying ways. Here's a picture of Kate Moss with her daughter. It looks like she's enjoying some outside time. Now, I saw this messy post from The Sun. They captioned it, "Kate seen drinking beers, vaping, and rubbing her nose after a toilet break at Hyde Park." Onlookers say that Kate appears to be back on the party circuit. Quote, "Kate was having it large at Hyde Park and was knocking backs of cans of Peroni." I guess, like, flicking them around. What does that mean, to be knocking cans around? They say that she was hanging out in Van Morrison's private backstage area before watching him from the side of the stage. She went back to the bar for another drink, and when she watched Neil Young, it looked like she filtered between the audience and the suites to keep the beers flowing. I mean, who was watching Kate this entire time? So The Sun is reporting that Kate is having a dandy time in Hyde Park, but we're seeing clips of her attending these fashion shows, and you could see that there's something off. Like in this clip right here, she's visibly nodding off and uncomfortable. She's touching her hair. Her body language shows that she's like kind of maybe possibly like tweaking here. I don't know what this could be, what kind of drug. This comment reads, "Kate is back in her party mood." Another person writes, "snowing," and another comment reads that it's snowing, which, if you don't know what that means, it's kind of suggesting that she could be on the white powder. It just breaks my heart because she's like so iconic. So to see her kind of like struggling here and having all the cameras on her, the pictures being taken, she's like turning around. She clearly doesn't want them to be taking these pictures, but they're not going to be stopping. And she looks uncomfortable again. A lot of like just moving around, especially when you see her next to this guy. He's barely moving. There was a moment that went viral whenever Kate was out celebrating her daughter's 22nd birthday. Kate Moss took a tumble while enjoying a cigarette outside of a restaurant in Paris on Sunday night. It looks like what happened was they were having dinner for her daughter's 22nd birthday, and she wanted to step out for a quick smoke, and she, had a little tumble. It's okay. Oh, okay. But these are some of the pictures that they got. This would be, could you imagine if you're celebrating your 22nd birthday and just like this is unfortunately the scene, and it's really sad for everyone involved. Here she is going back home after a long night out, I guess at her daughter's birthday. I think that's where we got maybe that photo we just seen. And you guys can see that she's entering into the hotel room, but it does look like she's having a hard time. Well, she's getting there. Look at her go. She knows what she's doing. She can handle herself. This comment reads, "But she still managed to walk with those shoes and slay." Moni writes that drunk me could never battle the flashing cameras and drunk walking at the same time. Gasper writes, "It never stops snowing." This comment reads, "Stumbling into the Ritz looking amazing is on my bucket list." Another person writes, "As she should, girl, let people have fun." Louis writes that this is real model behavior. So Kate's having her moments at the runway shows. She's, maybe stumbling into her hotel or outside a restaurant. But things really get bad whenever you put her on stage and she has to give a little speech.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Anthony and I have worked together for years. Since
Spooky.
he started as Saint Laurent, I could recognise his instinct for fashion, and I wanted to be part of that. I'm honoured to be part of his Saint Laurent family and to be his friend. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm honoured to present Antoine Vaccarello with the Innovator of the Award.
She turned and she was out of there. This person wrote on Reddit, what did she take to make her slur her speech like that? One person added probably cocaine and booze. This person disagrees, saying, I've done lots of coke and seen people on coke and they don't slur their words. It looks like benzos. Another person writes that she's probably on opioids and 5 minutes away from nodding. This person pointed out that her eyes are geeked AF, that she's sucking her teeth, she can't stop moving, trying to hold it together big time. Here's another clip of where she's kind of just moving around a lot. Maybe it's her like posing in her mind. She thinks she's posing around, but it's coming off wrong. Because she really just can't stand still. This person writes, well, F, I thought she was better. Obviously, now I wonder how her poor daughter feels given that she's running in fashion circles. Another person added, I can't imagine how Lila feels considering there's a bunch of 12-year-old girls reposting Kate saying nothing tastes better than being skinny. Another person said that Kate is so strung out. Honestly, it was never going to get better for her when her whole career was built off of glamorizing addiction. It's actually so sad. I don't know how she maintained an addiction this heavy for as long as she has. This stuff makes you feel horrible and insane. I could certainly do it if I was at a rave music festival, but not every day. Another person said, is she on some speed or Adderall or coke? Another person says that it's either meth or maybe cocaine. And the thing is, I'm not going to blame Kate for having an addiction. That is a very common thing that's going on everywhere in the world, not even the US. I was going to say the US, but I think it's really everywhere. And Kate Moss has been so subjected ever since she was a little girl. I found some really like concerning throwback moments. Like, of course, this woman is traumatized. Look at this like old news article I found about Kate. It writes, her age is 19, her appearance is 12. Weird. Tall, curvaceous, big hair. No. Moss is 5'7" with bandy legs, concave chest, and split ends. She has a bankable pout, the most endearing lazy eye since Piggies in The Lord of Flies, and an ability to look good in mimsy florals. They write, born in South London, aren't they all? I guess all the models, spotted in a shopping center, looking like a heavily sedated fawn. So weird. It looks like her agent called her a gawky, wispy, refreshing looking girl with staggering cheekbones. Okay, well, that's not as bad as a sedated fawn. This person asked what publication would write this. Another person clarified that it's The Guardian, funnily enough. Although their archive on the website doesn't go back that far, I could remember this one, and I can't 100% confirm it's a genuine one, but it's very much in their bitchy style of time. Somebody quoted, heavily sedated fawn. Who comes up with stuff like this? Another person added that even in the 90s, this would have been trashy. And as I was looking on Reddit, I also saw those throwback pictures of Diddy and Kate Moss. Like, never forget the time that Diddy and Kate were photographed and it looked like Diddy had some kind of like drug in his hands. This post on Reddit writes, God, it must be so bizarre to see photos of yourself with the Diddy at his parties, knowing that you have a very good chance of not remembering whatsoever. Like, we obviously can't know for sure if Kate was under the influence of anything here, but imagine for a minute she was, and imagine being Kate and looking at this photo now and having no idea when it was taken and what was happening. Now, one of the reasons why I wanted to do this video is because I saw a recent blind item that just makes me worried for Kate. It reads, our girl is back on the powder and we're not talking about the ski slopes. In her earlier days, she was the textbook definition of a party girl with a Coca-Cola being her drug of choice. She cleaned up her life and her career. While not completely sober, she stayed away from the hardcore stuff, preferring to sip champagne while looking for a high. She recently reconnected with a friend from her past, and you guessed it, before the night was over, she was going through some, cans of some Diet Coke like a vacuum, they say. Instead of it just being one night, she's been using it more regularly, and some of her inner circle are worried. Sure, there's talk of rehab, but that could be the final nail in her career. For now, she's being watched by a babysitter who even follows her into the bathroom when she's out clubbing. I mean, Kate has been working. She just did a campaign for St. Laurent. There's a biopic possibly in the works about her life. So she's been keeping herself busy. But is that really what she needs? Because when we see these concerning clips of her, it seems like a cry for help. I want to hear what you guys think in the comments below. Let me know if you are worried for Kate Moss. I see people on TikTok glorifying her, walking around and nodding in her head and just tripping and things like that, but it's concerning. I mean, I don't want to see anyone in that state, and it seems like she's struggling. So I hope that she and her sister, who also has issues with addiction, and I hope her daughter, I don't think her daughter has issues with addiction, but I hope she's okay. Like, this environment is toxic. But I'm praying for her and you guys, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in a new video soon. Bye, guys.